Welcome to Trip Notes, a New Zealand Herald travel podcast. It's brought to you by House of Travel, Better Together. And our special guest, he might be becoming Mayor of Auckland in just a matter of days.
Fingers crossed.
Possibly. We will find out. He is also starring in Wellington Paranormal. Season 2 premieres Wednesday, October the 16th at 8:30 on TVNZ2 and TVNZ On Demand. He has become something of a phenomenon for his impersonations of people like Paula Bennett and Simon Bridges in the last couple of years. Tom Sainsbury, welcome along.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh, well, thank
I'm
you
chuffed.
for coming. No, we're very happy to have you. Very busy with mayoral duties.
Yeah.
Well, pre-mayoral duties.
Well, apparently, if I get 10% of the vote, I get my $200 deposit back. So that's what I'm gunning. That's what I'm gunning for. I need their $200.
This is as Fiona. Now, we
Yes.
must introduce Stephanie Holmes.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
New
Here I
Zealand,
am.
Here you are. New Zealand Herald Deputy Editor. We've got our destination of the week. I'm just going to say what it is because I love this place so much, LA. But we're going to have recommendations from the three of us about LA because too often I meet Kiwis who say they don't like it. And I think you've gone to the wrong place or you don't get it. So we'll do LA at the end of the podcast. So looking forward to that as well. And the travel bugs portion in the middle of the podcast, the pressure to pack light. How to do it, but I think also people look down on those who travel with big bags. That's soon. Let's find out a little bit about you and your love of travel.
Yeah, Tom. So when was the last time you travelled?
Oh, well, I try to do like a travel a year.
Okay.
But last year was only to the Chatham Islands. Oh, no, I did go to LA. I went to LA last year. LA and I did Chatham Islands.
Two destinations that probably couldn't be less alike.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've got a great film industry out in the Chathams. No, really different. So I went over to LA to just kind of scope it out. I went over with my friend Jackie and like for work, but also kind of a holiday. And then Chatham's, I took my parents for a holiday, I guess.
You are the only person I know that's ever been to the Chatham Islands. What is it like?
The Chatham Islands is fascinating. Like, I really recommend people to go, but you only need like 5 days. So I think the plane comes from Auckland every 5 days.
Okay.
Or maybe 6 days. And so, and it's the same. Okay, there's so much to it. Okay, so there's only one plane that goes across, and it's always the same flight attendant. So she does all the flights, and she's incredible. Like, she's very business. And then you arrive, and you have to get around with a truck, so you can't just walk around. There's no kind of infrastructure. So you arrive, and like we were handed keys to a truck. Like straight away, you're going, you can drive this, and it's all kind of non-tar sealed gravel roads.
And it's a truck?
And it's like a big Ute Hilux kind of vibe, and you definitely need that because the few kind of sites to see are so far apart from each other. Yeah.
Why did you decide to take your parents there? Were you trying to punish them for something?
Yeah,
or?
well, basically, there's this deep trauma. No, I took them to the Chatham Islands because they went to the Catlins and they love.
Windswept
Windswept,
landscapes.
Yes, yeah, exactly. With a good southerly wind.
And a sideways tree.
Yes, and a sideways tree.
Have you been there?
No, I'm fascinated by the Chathams
okay.
too, because with Talkback, you always do a weather forecast that includes the Chathams.
Exactly.
And I think, well, I've never had any calls from the Chathams, but I do a forecast for the Chathams, and then I finally got a call from the Chathams. I'm just intrigued about people who live in really remote places.
Yeah,
and what draws
I love
them
that
to it.
too.
Yeah.
And we kind of like, there was a whole lot of baby boomers there that wanted to go and try the crayfish and the paua, because it's ample. You can just walk into the ocean and get some paua. But there was also we kind of became friends with this English lecturer who was going to all the remotest places. So he'd been to St. Helena beforehand. Helena, do you know the one where Napoleon was?
Okay.
Yes.
And then Tristan da Cunha, which apparently is the most isolated society in the world. And then he came to the Chathams to check that out. Yeah.
Okay.
But like beautiful sights and sound, like beautiful, there's like weka everywhere running around, and they have to do big culls of weka, and then everyone has a boil up of weka. Like, it's crazy.
And is it beautiful, or is it kind of starkly beautiful?
I'd say starkly beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, it used to be covered in trees, and there are no kind of trees. There's a few kind of foresty things, but it's pretty windswept and desolate.
And do you go to like the one pub and?
Yeah, there's the one pub. Yeah, literally the one pub. And there's one store, and the ANZ's open for like 3 hours on a Thursday and a Friday kind of thing, and then that's kind of it.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I kind
It
of
would
want to
be
go now.
interesting.
Yeah.
A lot very sharky waters apparently.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah.
And I found that out after swimming.
Oh.
You swam.
Yeah, I went
And
swimming.
then after I got bitten by a shark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But also lots of whales kind of come in and stuff. Like it's just,
Amazing.
yeah.
So where are you taking your parents next?
That's well, I guess I'll have to take them to, I don't know, the Antarctic maybe.
Well, that'd be fun.
Yeah, could take a cruise.
But one of your other favourite places I've heard is Sweden.
Yeah.
When
I
did you
love
go there,
Sweden.
and why did you love it?
I became friends with this woman. So she's a Swedish novelist, and we were both studying at university. It's a long, convoluted story, but we were both studying together at university. She's 71 now. And she, I was flatting. I was like in my early 20s, and I got pneumonia, and she invited me to come and like live in her basement because it was a lot warmer and all that kind of stuff. And then we became friends, and then we co-wrote this New Zealand, this kind of Swedish noir thriller that was published over in Sweden. And to go to kind of promote it, I went over there and went over to Denmark and stuff. And I just kind of felt very at home there. I
Okay.
don't know. Yeah, the culture really, the people were so kind of reserved but so funny.
So
and
good looking.
beautiful and so good looking. Honestly, you could just walk down the street. It's just one after the other of beautiful people. And here I was romping along in my shorts and jumper. And also, like an appreciation of art and music and things that I just don't think other people do. Yeah.
Is it very expensive? I kind of have this impression of the Scandi countries as being very expensive.
They are, but every time I travel, I come back to New Zealand and go, I can't believe how expensive the groceries are.
In New Zealand,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
New Zealand's so expensive. So I don't think I've ever been anywhere that I've felt is more expensive. I haven't been to Singapore.
No. Okay, right.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's true. I think that we now know how expensive New Zealand is, but there was a long time, like through the 90s, New Zealanders used to think that tourists coming here, it was going to be like all right for them financially. But, New Zealand's magnificent, but it costs so much
Yeah, it
to live
really
here
does.
and holiday here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do any like ABBA tourism at all? In
ABBA?
Yeah.
Wow. I was they walked past me.
Get out of it.
No.
All of them?
All four of them had got together because they had to sign some kind of, I don't know what the contract was.
Yeah.
I didn't, I was just too shell-shocked because I love ABBA.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to the ABBA museum. They've got an ABBA museum in Stockholm. But I did. I think they were signing some contract about releasing their music or something like that, and they were all in the office together, which is like so rare because they all hate each other, but they all had to kind of come together.
That's amazing.
So when you saw them, were there people gathered round? Or?
No, it was all very business. I was sitting outside I was sitting outside a room waiting to go in, and they were just walking down a corridor.
There's been
there was like
Bjorn
three
and-
other people. There was Bjorn and
Agnetha and
Yeah.
Annifred.
yeah, I know.
It just sounds like a joke, doesn't it? You went to Sweden and you saw ABBA, but it actually happened.
Yeah.
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 I dined out on that for ages, but I just wish I'd been ready. I could have
Well, I
come
know,
up with
but what
something
are the
funny to
odds?
say.
Like the most famous band
I know.
in Swedish history, you're there randomly. Oh my God,
Yeah.
there they are.
Yeah.
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 There's Emma walking down the street. Amazing. As far as you growing up, so you grew up in Matamata?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
in Waikato.
and then you studied English. I've read up about you studied English Lit and theatre at Auckland Uni. Matamata, everyone goes there for Hobbiton.
That's
but
right.
Wairere Falls, it's
Yeah.
amazing. And like thigh busting to get to the top of that. And
Yeah,
then
have you done it?
Yeah, and then the view out. And
I did it over for the first time in ages over New Year's, and like it's so popular.
Yeah.
So many people. Were there lots of people when you were there?
yeah, but
Yeah.
I feel it's only if you're in Waikato that you know about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it, so I'm going to have to
Check
go
it-
there.
check it
Yeah.
out, yeah.
Have you been to Hobbiton?
I have been to Hobbiton,
Okay.
and I really liked it.
Okay.
So if you live there, there's like 2 days of the year, I think, where if you show them a letter with your address on it, you can go for much cheaper.
Wow.
Because it is quite expensive.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
managed to get in on that.
Amazing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
have you been?
No, I'm not really a massive fan, I have to say.
Mm.
So,
was beautiful. It was like ye old English countryside. It was
Okay. So maybe I would like it.
And well, do you like tiny houses?
I couldn't say that I know whether I love tiny houses. I'm going to have to think about that.
Because the small ye oldie, but small in the countryside, literally in the hillside houses.
So you've been?
Yeah. It's I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings and Hobbit fan, but it is so cute. It's so just endlessly, relentlessly cute.
Yeah.
And like the pub is like the pub where you kind of end up. I can't remember. It's got some funny name, Dragon's Den or something. Like it's all ye oldie, and the food is. But there is I think there's like a tray of chips, and that's the only thing that's incongruous to the Middle Earthian vibe is. Yeah.
We're being very cliche. New Zealanders talking about Hobbiton. So let's talk about overseas.
Yes, great.
What's kind of on your list of places you haven't been that you really want to go?
The Caribbean. What would you say?
I'd probably say Caribbean, but if I was in America, I'd say Caribbean, so they understood me.
I feel like whenever I see like an image of like some of the island nations, I don't believe in past lives, so I am a Buddhist. I feel like there's some kind of connection to it.
Okay.
Like St. Kitts or like Antigua or something like that. Barbados, like I feel that is calling me.
Okay.
Yeah. The problem with South America, I'm gonna love it, but like this, I'm a vegetarian.
Okay.
And there's such big meat eaters there that I'm just like, how am I gonna navigate that? But we'll see.
Yeah.
So that area is the one I haven't been to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was your first ever overseas trip?
Well, it would have been back and forth to Australia. My first ever one. Well, when I was a child, my grandparents took me to Disneyland in Anaheim. So that would have been my first one.
Yeah.
And then, but as an adult, I went and lived in London, but I went kind of across Canada and then into New York. And then when I flew out, I was planning to move to London and get a job and stuff. And when I was flying out, that was when the recession, I was about to board the plane to go and start my new life. And that was when the 2008 recession hit. I was like, oh God, what am I in for? But I went over and I actually stayed in the Isle of Jersey because my sister was a nurse there. Mm-hmm. And Jersey's amazing. Have you guys been to Jersey?
No.
Highly recommend it. It's so beautiful. Incredible.
Windswept?
Yeah, I feel like there's a theme here.
No, it's not. It's a lot more like Hobbiton.
Okay, right.
So wonderful
so
brambles. Tree. Yeah, not the sideways trees, just tall oaks with wonderful red squirrels running around.
Oh, wow.
And then I moved to London, yeah.
Did you enjoy living in London?
I did. The I think my recommendation to everyone when you go over, because when you go over to move, you're so panicked to be getting a job, getting the bank account, getting all that kind of stuff that you don't really enjoy the first few months. And I'm like, I haven't met someone who hasn't worked out for eventually. So it's just, my advice is always try and enjoy it. Mm. The problem with London is that there was so much stimulus for me. There's so much stimulus, and like every night you could do the most incredible things, go to the most amazing theatre or concerts or whatever, that I ended up doing, like by the end of the 2 years, I'd kind of done nothing career. I'd done nothing except to experience life, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel like I did much of my dream work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're a playwright. Like you write
right.
3 a year. Is that still true?
It's down to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. You've replaced it with a lot of other things. You know?
Yeah.
Which of your characters, obviously, you Paula Bennett and Simon Bridges and Fiona, who would you most like to travel with out of all your characters?
Really good question. I think like with Fiona, like you'd have to kind of manage. I do have a friend, an older friend who's essentially an alcoholic, or but you learn how to manage them and just kind of like move the glass away and stuff like that. So if I could manage Fiona's drinking, I think she'd be great around Italy or Spain or something, just going from vineyard to vineyard. I think that would be really good. Nice. And what's really good, like this is really good about my parents as well, going to the Chatham Islands, it's because when I don't know people, I can tend to be quite shy or kind of reserved. It takes me a long time to kind of warm up to them, but my parents just have this knack, and Fiona would be the same. I think it's just the baby boomer generation in my experience. They can just go up and just be friends with people straight away, just go and like you're on edge because they're saying inappropriate things about someone's culture or something, but they kind of get the conversation going. So I think Fiona would be the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've met all the people that you impersonate, haven't you?
I haven't met Simon.
Oh, really?
No, not yet.
Oh, well, maybe when you win the mayoral race, you might get to meet him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think your Simon one is my favourite.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
is that the one that you get the most backlash for as well, or
I think Simon's the one that gets the most love.
right?
And backlash, no, not really. I think even like right-leaning people can appreciate the comedy of Simon Bridges. Do you know what I mean? So
I love accents, and you know, like it's just a fact. He has a very strong Kiwi accent, and I'm fascinated by that. People shouldn't ever think that that's not something we could laugh at.
Yeah.
Have you found when you've travelled overseas, have people struggled to understand your accent in any destinations?
Well, LA, across the border America, I think. I think everywhere else has kind of been fine.
Yeah.
All the countries I've been to. Yeah, I think.
But
it's
Americans always
America.
go, I love your accent. And they can't understand a word you're saying, but they love your
exactly.
accent. Yeah.
And you're like, it's strange because obviously we were brought up on American television, so I'm like, I've got no trouble with your accent. Mine doesn't. I feel like mine doesn't sound that different from yours, but clearly it does.
There are some words you just have to say when you're in the States. If you want a water, you have to say water.
Exactly.
Because
Restroom.
Yeah, restroom. But you know, like when you think about how we actually say water, it's almost like, you know, like war. What is it good for? And then with a duh, you know, water.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, what are you saying? They just have water. Oh, water.
Yeah.
But we'll get to LA in just a moment. Let's do our travel bug section. And the pressures of traveling light. So,
Yeah, I'm
you're
terrible.
a constant traveler. What do you?
I know,
what do you
and
like
people
with your...
always say that to me. Oh, you must have got it down to a fine art now. I don't at all. I'm a terrible packer. I always leave it till the last minute, which is probably why I'm a terrible packer. I get quite stressed about it. I worry that I'm not going to have enough of the right things. Or take too much, and then when I get there, I realise that I don't have any of the right things, but I've got hundreds and hundreds of things with me, and yeah, I don't know. Are you a good packer, Tom?
I'm not. I just spent some time in Dunedin and I took my heavy coat and I should have worn it on the plane. I mean, that's a trick.
Yeah.
But no, I put it into my pack and that's half the suitcase taken with a heavy coat. And I read this great meme yesterday. It's like every time I pack, it's like I need 3 pairs of underwear a day. You know, like what's happening in my life that I need that much underwear. But I on occasion, like especially doing Jetstar or something, I've only had carry on, so I've had to kind of shove everything, and it's amazing what you can get away with one pair of clothes.
Yeah, I know. I think I always have it in my head. I need to wear something different every day, which is ridiculous. Like,
No, I've got that too.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
not just me. Then.
But I will always take shirts that I don't wear.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into the mindset of you know, well, do you ever wear this at home?
Yeah.
No. Do you even like it that much? Well, I don't know. I'll take it. You know, and so
Yeah.
there's always clothes that I take that I don't wear.
There's always like the formal, informal. Like
Yeah.
you do need, even if you're like, I'm trekking,
Yeah.
there might be
There'll be a
an
nice dinner.
opportunity where there's a nice dinner. You can't show up in your swan dry.
No. But I always fall into the trap of like buying heaps of stuff before I go away because I'm like, I need something new. I need a new swimsuit. I need new shoes, and like spending heaps of money before I go away buying stuff. Whereas like generally I'm not going to, you know, remote places. I'm going to LA or New York or whatever. Like you
Yeah.
can buy things there. Like
Yeah.
what is wrong with me?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
true. One of the reasons, other than liking warm weather, that I favour going to warm places or going to places in summer is that you don't have your bags filled with coats. I actually don't know how most people travel to wintry destinations
Well,
because the coats take up your whole pack.
well, you wear 3 on the plane, don't you?
Right.
That's the tip. Yeah. That we're all failing at. Yeah.
What about how people look down on traveling with a big bag?
Yeah, that's happened to me before because I've got a
Yeah.
suitcase and it is giant, but it's quite light. And often I will take that, but I won't fill it all the way. It'll be
Yeah.
half full just in case I do some shopping, whatever.
Yeah.
But I turn up and people just like, oh my goodness, what have you got in there? And they just laugh at me because my suitcase is so big. But
Well, we'll tell them shame on them because I get the same thing too. If it's like, you know, even a weekend trip in New Zealand, I'll take my same bag that I take if I'm away for 3 months.
Do
but,
you?
But
see, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't take my
Because-
giant suitcase.
well, I don't
everywhere.
understand the thinking, which is that so you're meant to have a bag that perfectly matches the size of your trip, and then so you have to have like 15 bags at home.
I think, guys, that we are playing it. So it's better to be safe than sorry.
That's right.
isn't
I
it?
think so. Yeah.
Those people might mock us.
Yeah.
but At least
no
we'll have a
problem.
coat. At least we'll have an extra pair of shoes.
I've got quite good at hand luggage, not if I'm only traveling with hand luggage. Like I've got checked luggage as well, but I've got quite good at the hand luggage, like because I think I used to stuff that full as well. Like take
Yeah.
all these things you might need on a plane. You don't actually need that much. You need toothbrush, toothpaste, eye mask, eye plugs, pajamas,
Yeah.
deodorant. They're probably the essentials.
Well, and how stressful do you find it? Because
Packing.
as far as the packing, because that's another reason why the bigger bag is the way to go. Because then, as you say, you don't have to fill it, and you're not stressed. You have the slightly smaller bag. You don't get judged, but you've been stressed out trying to fit everything into the smaller bag.
Such first world problem, isn't it? We're such idiots.
Isn't it? My problem is
worst.
always procrastinate, and then it's like, say I've got a flight at 6 a.m. that morning, I wake up at 3 a.m. desperately packing just because I've put it off so long.
Yeah.
And then you're surprised at what
Yeah.
ends up in your
That's always
bag.
quite fun.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I just had to bring that. Okay.
Yeah. If you're a bit tipsy when you pack as well, that's always quite fun when you get to your destination. What did I think I was going to do with that?
Exactly.
Do you guys ever regularly forget things? That
Toothbrushes, I always like, I've got to put it on my list and then have to go and buy it.
I feel like that's the first thing I pack. No, I think I'm pretty good actually. So maybe I do have it down to a fine art in terms of like I know I need an adapter or charging leads, things like that. Yeah, you don't ever want to forget those. I don't think of it.
I leave razors behind, either at home or in hotel rooms because I shave I hope this is not too much information. I shave in the shower.
More information the better. So do I.
Yeah, because
There you
if you've got
go.
sensitive skin, you
Yeah.
shave in the shower, then
Yeah.
you don't have the issues, and then it always means that the razor gets left behind
Yeah.
in the shower.
Oh, right.
But doing the
okay,
shower, do you have your mirror in the shower with you, or do you,
No,
you have
I-
to do a little touch up outside?
Sometimes, I open the door and
Yeah,
look
yeah.
through to the mirror.
Yeah.
Or I
Oh,
put
I'm
water
learning
all over
so
the-
much about both of you.
all
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you find one shiny thing in the mirror and just try to,
Yeah.
what's going on. Yeah.
What are
Some-
your essentials when you
travel?
travel? Yeah.
Well, I'm just like your Visa card, and that's all you need.
Credit card, passport.
Yeah.
You're pretty much okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once upon a time, people used to worry about traveller's checks. Does anyone do that
Oh my
anymore?
God, traveller's checks?
I remember having
Do they still
traveller's
exist?
checks.
Yeah, I
think
remember
they
too.
do still exist, but I don't think many people
Yeah.
use
Oh my
them.
gosh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You had to get that sorted out. And
And people would get out all the money that they needed for
Yes.
their trip and then
Just
hide
so
it in different
dangerous, yeah.
parts of their luggage.
Yeah.
It's just,
In their fanny packs.
yeah. I know. Well, you're announcing to everyone, "Hi, I'm a tourist.
Yeah,
Rob me.
yeah.
Here's my fanny pack."
yeah,
It's
people
ridiculous.
with like locks all over their
Yeah.
bags. And so, well, there's something good in there, isn't there? You
Yeah.
have to take that.
All right, let's get to our destination of the week. LA is it. And let me hand over to you guys before I share some of my favorites. I adore LA. You lived there for a month, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I spent a month there, and I loved it. By the end, when we were flying back, we were in hysterics when we kind of dropped the car off, because we just on the flight we hired the car and had that car for the entire time, and then it was so stressful being on the other side and getting onto these huge motorways. I just couldn't it took me such a long time to get my head around the changing of the directions. And then as soon as within 5 minutes of driving, we passed this huge accident and we're like, oh my God, this does not bode well. And then by the end, when we kind of handed the car over, we were in hysterics just because we'd obviously been holding this tension about driving around LA. So I think that was the stressful part of it. But what I really loved, because we were kind of meeting kind of filmy, comedian, kind of actory people. And it was just like a city of like-minded people.
Who were some of were there big name people you were hanging out with?
No,
You can name drop, it's
they were
fine.
they were just Kiwis. But we Heather Gray. Do you know Heather Gray?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was at a cafe, and we kind of went up and introduced ourselves. And
How did that go?
she was very civil and very nice.
That's good. I think that's
So
one
not that
thing.
well.
I love LA, but I think one thing that I always get slightly disappointed when I go is that I don't often see famous people, and you kind of expect they're just going to be everywhere, and I don't think I've ever had I saw Lionel Richie at the airport once.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that was cool,
Love Lionel.
and he was so friendly.
Oh, was
So
it?
you said hi.
Not they were just because he was on the plane coming to New Zealand, and
Yeah.
so he walked through the departure lounge, and there were all these Kiwis there go, oh, Lionel, and he just kind of waved, and he
Gorgeous.
just seemed like such a nice man.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest star spot.
No, I've met Lionel through radio. He is genuinely nice, and probably as nice as any star I've
Okay.
met.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's genuinely a nice guy.
Good.
Which is, it's not just an
That's a
act.
good reputation.
Yeah, that's what you want. So favorite spots in LA.
I love West Hollywood. I think
Yeah.
the first couple of times I went to LA, I didn't enjoy it. And I'd been staying in Hollywood, which I'm kind of learning to enjoy a bit more now. But West Hollywood is there's this street, West 3rd Street, and it's the blocks between the Beverly Center and the Grove for any shoppers out there. They're like two amazing shopping destinations.
Yes.
But that street, I just love it. There's like really great cafes. And I was reading something online recently that said it's a bit of it's where you go if you're a bit basic.
Right.
There's lots of women in
like
activewear and, you know, that kind of place. But I really like there. And I like the fact that you can walk along that street and blocks and blocks, because LA's not really a walking destination in a lot of places. So I like it there. I love Venice Beach to Santa Monica. That walk is amazing as well, along the boardwalk. Yeah.
Sadly, that's exactly what I like as well. Like West Hollywood too.
We should go there together.
Exactly. And just the cuisine options are just so good as well.
Yeah, amazing food.
Because I'm vegan, and like there's just like on every block there's like cafes dedicated to veganism. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
In Venice Beach, and it's also like because I love people watching, and like Venice Beach, like they're all just such great places. You can just sit down and just see all these personalities, and also some of the cafes we went to, people were just so like willing to kind of talk to you and share it, you know. Or if you look vaguely confused looking at your Google Maps or something, people came up, which I found was amazing.
Yeah.
Because I guess that's not the reputation of LA.
No.
That people are more standoffish and things, but that wasn't my experience.
As far as the walking, so one of my favorite things to do, because I love architecture, and the LA architecture is incredible. And but as you say, people don't really walk. So, but I was looking on the map, and I wanted to go to Sunset Strip, and I was staying in Beverly Hills, and I was looking on the map, and I was like, okay, it's like a 2-hour walk. Like that's fine for me, and I love architecture. Yeah. So why don't I walk? Yeah. And so I walked up Rodeo Drive past all the fancy shops, but then in the heart of 90210, you know, Brandon and Brenda, and you know, I loved 90210 when I was a kid, and all these amazing mansions, and I was the only person walking. There were people jogging, but the only person walking, and just the architecture blew my mind. It's just one dream house after another, and I was like, this is actually a cool thing to do. Yeah. The other thing, do you guys love the hotels? Because LA is full of legendary showbiz hotels, like the Chateau Marmont.
I went there recently for a cocktail, and it was. I didn't see any. Oh no, we saw one famous person. We saw Patricia Clarkson, who's
I love Patricia Clarkson.
Yeah, she was amazing.
I went there too, and we saw a famous person. Who was it? Isn't this terrible? I can't remember. Chloe Savini.
Well, she's amazing. Yeah, okay.
But that was like one of our first destinations. I didn't understand tip. Like I forgot to tip.
Oh, tipping's hard. Yeah.
Typical Kiwi.
Yeah, exactly. Like the guy, the valet. He was looking at me awkwardly, and I was like, "Okay, great." And we drove off, going, "Oh God."
It's important to get your head around that, but I still haven't quite got it. I think I always massively overtip or massively undertip. I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
No, but that scenario, I think most Kiwis who have been in that, where you're like, oh, thanks so much. See you later. And you're like, why is he giving me a funny look?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I haven't paid him.
Yes.
That's how it works. But Sunset Marquee is another one I'll throw into the mix. If you love music, so all the rock stars, musicians for the last 50 years, their absolute top pick is the Sunset Marquee Hotel. Right. And so that's where you'll be in the bar and Bono, it's Bono's favourite bar. Wow. That's where Fleetwood Mac and the Bee Gees and the Eagles and the Stones and Bruce Springsteen and Bob Marley and Elton, this is their hotel.
Gorgeous.
So,
did you go to many comedy shows or theatre shows in LA when you were there?
I did go to, the time I went before, we went to see some improv, but not the Groundlings, like just some kind of strange little beneath a bookshop improv.
Yeah.
And it was really good and funny and stuff, but I'm just like, I didn't feel intimidated by it. I feel like the quality of New Zealand improv and comedy is similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you see yourself living there and trying to crack the market there?
I definitely do. Okay. Yeah, I do think that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I could. And in terms of the stand-up kind of thing, I feel, once you've had I've had terrible audiences here, and like once you kind of become invincible. So even going to LA, it's not going to get me down too much, I don't think.
And you probably know a lot of people over there by now. There's a lot of Kiwis over there.
Yeah, a lot of Kiwis floating over there. Yeah, definitely.
Heather Graham also.
Yeah, your best friend Heather now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as far as a place to live, I think once you realise that you've got obviously beautiful beaches, but the walks in the Hollywood Hills.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Are beautiful. So it's not just the Walk of Fame in Hollywood.
And it's also, we found because we had meetings like all over town, but the most you travelled was like 35 minutes by car, which is like compared to Auckland sometimes. It takes an hour and a half to get somewhere in Auckland.
Yeah.
So everything's within reach, but I mean, they love their cars and you have to be driving.
Yeah.
I mean, did you drive? What did
No,
you do?
I don't drive. So I got Uber. Uber's
yeah.
really easy over
Was it
there.
okay?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
really cheap as well. And very easy way to get around.
We have to wrap up,
Oh,
but
again.
as we do, quick little plug for Wellington Paranormal.
Yes.
If people don't know anything about it, what's the basic plot?
Okay, so it's like cops. It's like cops trying to solve paranormal crimes in Wellington. So, but with a Kiwi bent. So I think the first episode is a Taniwha has attacked kind of Wellington Harbour.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you a cop? Are you the Taniwha? What are you?
I'm a cop. I'm kind of like a sidekick cop. So there's the main two, O'Leary and Minogue, and mine is Constable Parker, and he's pretty hopeless, and he has a run-in with a Taniwha.
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. All the best for that.
And hopefully you'll be mayor
a
while
couple of
the
days.
episode screens.
Exactly. Imagine that.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
All right, Tom Sainsbury, thank you so much.
Thank you.